This is topic B on page 149, setting up the page layout.
Although the general print settings provide you with a solid base to print your workbooks, there's much more you can do when printing with Excel. As mentioned, workbook printing can be highly complex for a large number of reasons. You will from time to time need to be able to fine-tune how to print your workbook pages. Luckily, Excel has many options for just this purpose. Knowing what configurations are available and how to set them will allow you to create more visually helpful and appealing printouts. The Page Setup dialog box provides you with more options for configuring your workbooks for printing than the print settings in the Backstage view. You can access the Page Setup dialog box by going to your Page Layout tab, Page Setup command group, and selecting the dialog box launcher. You can see here we have a Page tab, Margins, Header Footer, and the Sheet tab. The Page tab has commands to set page orientation. Along the top, you have the options of portrait or landscape. Also, to set the magnification level under the scaling section. To choose your paper size, your print quality, and which page to start printing from. You can also access your print preview menu from here as well, same as going to your File tab and Print. Then your Margins tab. These are commands to adjust the page, header, and footer margins and to determine how to center content on your printed pages. You have your left, right, top, and bottom margins that you can modify, also your header and footer, and you can choose to center your data horizontally or vertically on your page. And you have your header and footer tab. These are commands for inserting, modifying, and deleting headers and footers. So you can click here to create your custom header. You have 3 placeholders in your header area. We'll go through this in the next section. You can see for custom footer, you also have 3 placeholders for inserting data there as well. And then lastly, you have your Sheet tab, and these are commands for defining a print area, determining which rows and columns print on every page, determining which page elements print on paper, and defining the order in which pages print. So we'll go through a lot of these different commands coming up next. So first, taking a look at how to set our print area. The print area feature enables you to select specific cells and ranges to print from your workbooks. Once you've set a print area, only those cells within the print area will print. Cells within the print area appear surrounded by a thin gray border. So right now, if I were to go to my File tab and my print preview screen, right now everything's printing for me. I have 8 pages of data. Many different employees, and we have multiple columns spilling over as well. Now, if I want to maybe only print the up to employee 2022, I can select my area. Maybe I don't need their bonus, salary, and compensation columns. I only need up to their pay scale code. I can set this as my print area. I can go to my Page Layout tab, and in the Page Setup command group, here I have a drop down for Print Area. Click on Set Print Area. Now when I click to deselect that data, you can see this darker gray border between rows 8 and 9, and also it's a little darker going between pay scale and bonus. If I were to go to File and Print Now, you can see only the information that I had set to my print area is being printed now. And my pay scale code is, you can see, going over into the next page. Okay, if I want to clear that print area, select the drop down again, clear print area. You can see that darker gray line has disappeared now, and when I go to my print preview, everything is available for me again. The easy way to select specific data that you need to print. We also have another pretty cool feature, which is the print titles command. Because Excel worksheets can contain thousands of columns and rows worth of data, it can be difficult for people to interpret printed worksheets if column and row labels don't print on all pages. Excel includes a feature that enables you to determine which rows and columns will print on every page. This is the print titles command. Now, if I go to my print preview screen right now, on my first page, I can easily see the column headers for employee ID, last name, first name, middle initial, department, so on and so forth. Now, when I get to the second page, let's say I'm looking through, a long spreadsheet of data, and I'm on my second page and I'm looking at this last column here. Just by looking at it, I have no idea what this represents. My column headers are not appearing on every other page of my data. And this is where the print titles command comes into play. If I go to my page layout tab, page setup command group, here I have my print titles. I can choose which rows or which columns that I want to repeat. And this is in the print titles section of our sheet tab. So I want to repeat my first row, which is my column headers. So what I need to do, click into the rows to repeat at top. I bring my cursor back out to my spreadsheet, and when I hover over my data, you can see I get a right pointing arrow. I can click anywhere into the row that I want to repeat, and it can be multiple rows. You can click and drag to select multiple. I only need one here, so I'm going to click in row number 1. It puts the syntax in for me. I can click OK. Now when I go into my print preview, I have my column headers on my first page, scroll to page 2, I also have them there. So I can easily see that, this 2.18 is the years that Ham has been with the company. Okay, so very important. And I scroll to page 3, again, the column headers are still there. So very beneficial for printed documents, because you could have, a spreadsheet with, hundreds of pages. You don't want to keep flipping back to the beginning to line up the column headers or the row headers. You can repeat row headers as well. All right, so very, very good feature. Our page break preview view. If I go into my view tab and my workbook views command group, normal view is your default. That's what we're in right now. If I switch to page break preview, this is a view that's ideal for inserting, deleting, and arranging page breaks on your worksheets and for defining print areas. So right now you can see, if I was to scroll down, I'm actually going to go and fit all columns on one page real quick. I'm going to scale this down. Okay, so all columns for the employee IDs are on one page, but I still have an overflow of 3 pages of employees. All right, so that's a little better to work with now. Back in my page break preview view, you can see this is page 1, and where page 2 begins, we have a page break here. This means that page 1 ends at row 50, and page 2 begins at row 51. So that this dashed line here, this is an automatic page break. Excel created it for us because we ran out of room on the first page. But let's say I didn't want the page to break there. I wanted it to only contain, let's say, 30 rows of data on the first page. I can click and drag this page break up, under row number 30. But once I click and drag it up, it's going to become a solid line. And this means that this is a manual page break. I placed it there. I decided where I wanted one page to end and the next to begin. This one is still automatic, but if I click and drag it up again, under 75, you can see it becomes a solid line. Okay? So I can choose where one page ends and one begins by using this page break preview view. All right, so we'll try this out coming up in the next video, activity 5.2 on page 1.
That's activity 5.2 on page 154.